Alright, my name is Sarah Ellis. I am the instructor for this class, and I look forward to hopefully getting to know you guys over the course of the semester. The first thing that I want to do is go through some of the details of the syllabus. I'm not going to go through every detail that's in there. It is your responsibility to read through it and make sure that you understand everything that is in there. I mostly just want to point out a couple things that I want you to be aware of before you start working on this class so that you can decide if this is actually the class that you want to sign up for. Alright, if you go to the homepage of the course, the syllabus is the first thing right up at the top. So if we go ahead and click on that, it will go ahead and open up. I encourage you to print this out for your records. Alright, so this is Algebra Skills. This is an online asynchronous course. What that means is we are not going to have any official meet times. All of the materials will be provided to you through videos, and it is your responsibility to learn the material. Please note that inside the syllabus, we do have a link right here. You are responsible for going over to this link. It has important university-related pages. So for instance, services for students with disabilities, information pertaining to the emergency alert system, security, and there are so many other things that we no longer put them in the physical syllabus, but you are responsible for all of these things. As I mentioned, my name is Sarah Ellis. I will be the instructor. And you are encouraged to contact me via Canvas email. I do have a regular email address. If you know that, you may contact me there as well, but please try to contact me via Canvas email. My external email, I do not get notifications on my iPad, and I am usually running around all over the place that I do not have time to sit down and monitor it regularly. I usually check that email maybe once a day. I do not have an official office location that I go to. My office is in Las Cruces, and I am actually teaching at the Gadsden Center. So if you need to come to see me physically, if you want to come see me physically, I am usually located in DAGC, room 111. That is a classroom, and it's at the Gadsden Center. Due to the fact that I am never actually in my office, I actually also do not check my office phone. So if you need to contact me, I am providing you my cell phone. Please note, I encourage you to contact me via cell phone. If you are going to call me, please make sure that you leave a message. I do not call people back and unless they leave a message. Similarly, if you are going to text me, and yes, you may text me, please make sure that you put your name and the course that you are taking in the first text so that I know who I am talking to. You may reach me. I am providing you with my schedule. And so if you see here, you can see my office hours and my class schedule. These are the times and days that I am in class at the Gadsden Center. I am there Monday through Thursday, and I do have quite a few office hours. If you want to come see me in person, please do so. I would love to meet you in person as well. If you need assistance on a day or time that I am not on campus or in class, please contact me through Canvas to set up a day and time that we can meet over the phone. I am more than happy to work with you over the phone, set up phone conversations, and help you with your homework. Okay? But it is your responsibility to set up those appointments. All right, Instructor response time. Please note that it takes me about 24 hours to respond to messages. I do try to respond as fast as possible, but keep in mind that I live in Socorro, Texas, and I am teaching over at Gadsden, and I am usually on the road quite a bit on other days and times. So please message me in Canvas. I get an alert on my iPad that I have a message, and I will try to respond to you as quickly as possible. Same thing with phone or text messages. I am giving myself 24 hours, but I do try to respond to that as quickly as possible as well. I do want to emphasize, please do not call or text me after 8 p.m. or before 9 a.m. I am trying to set boundaries, and so those are the boundaries that I am providing to you guys. All right, I'm going to skip down to the course textbook and materials. This semester we are going to be doing something called direct integration, which means that if you've used my math lab before, it's going to be a little bit different. The direct integration, you will be charged, the fees for the course will be part of your tuition. That means that you do not need to spend any extra money for the course materials. If you want to purchase materials through another vendor, please make sure that you check with the bookstore first before opting out of the direct integration. All right, there is an email address there that you can contact. Our course other materials that we have for this class, you will need notebook, binder, loose leaf paper, pencils, erasers, highlighters. You are allowed a calculator. I recommend a scientific. And you will need a computer or tablet. On my math lab, you may access the entire textbook electronically, but if you are the type of person that you like a physical textbook because it is cheaper to throw at a wall than your computer, then you may purchase an optional textbook. This is the Blitzer Introductory Algebra for College Students. We are working with the 8th edition. Good places to purchase course materials. You might want to try a website called Chegg, CHEGG.com. Please note that if you purchase the physical textbook, that will not be included as part of your tuition. That will be out of your pocket. All right, computer hardware and software. You do need access to a desktop computer, laptop, tablet, or iPad with internet access. You will need the Canvas module. You will need the Canvas learning system. I recommend having Microsoft Office 2007 or higher. And you will need Adobe Reader. All of the documents that I have prepared for this course are going to be PDF files. Please make sure that you are using the most current version of either Mozilla Firefox, Chrome, or Safari. Internet Explorer is not recommended for My Lab and Mastering or Canvas. It can be a little finicky. All right. Please make sure that you read through the student learning outcomes, the course competencies, and the methods of instruction. I'm going to come down to methods of evaluation. We are going to have several things that determine your grade. The first one that we have is homework. Homework is going to be worth 10% of your grade. There is no time limit for homework. You are encouraged to print out and or work problems neatly in a notebook or binder. In fact, you are required to make sure that you will be required to work the problems out on paper. On my math lab, all you will be typing in is an answer. So please make sure that you know how to solve the problems. To solve them, that will require paper. I'm going to be doing something a little different this semester, which is all homework must be completed before the module exam. Same thing goes with quizzes. So you will see a deadline for homework assignments. That is the recommended day. That is the day that I am expecting you to complete the assignments. There is a deadline down at the bottom that says all assignments must be completed by the module test. That is the last day that you may turn in assignments late. Now, if you do get behind in your materials, please note that I will extend at most 8 homework assignments for the whole semester beyond the final deadline. There is no late penalty and for homework assignments, but as I mentioned, if you do not complete the majority of your homework assignments online or before that final deadline, most of them will get zeros. The second thing that we are going to have to evaluate you is quizzes. There will be at least one quiz per week to track your progress. Please note, quizzes will have a time limit, unlike the homework. If you feel that the time limit is not long enough, please contact me to discuss extending the time limit. For quizzes, you will have at most 3 attempts per quiz, and I keep your highest score. You should always review your quizzes through the My Lab and Mastering link before retaking, and ask questions as needed. Quizzes will require you to show your work. The show your work, I will go through this in more detail in the My Math Lab introductory assignment, but please note that I encourage you to submit pictures of your work on paper through Canvas email. It is easier, I believe that it is easier for you to submit, for you to complete it that way. It is also easier for me to grade it that way. Please note all quizzes must be completed before the module exam, and I will extend the deadline past that final deadline for at most 5 quizzes over the course of the semester. Quizzes, I do try to grade these as quickly as possible, but I will have your final grades posted within 72 hours. We will discuss this in a little bit more in a future video. The last thing, or the next thing that we have, is exams. Exams are worth 25% of your grade. Please note that you are not allowed to take exams after due date and time without consent of instructor. I try to have tests be due on Friday, Saturday. There might be a few that are due on Sunday, but these are due on the weekend. You are allowed to take these early, but please note that the grades will not be finalized until after the deadline. Tests will also require you to show your work. Again, please submit your work via Canvas email on paper. Tests. There is only 1 take per module test. You will have the opportunity to earn up to 75% of the points back on problems that you missed by completing test corrections. I will provide you details on Canvas regarding how to complete the test corrections, and test corrections must be submitted within 1 week of the test deadline. The last main thing that we're going to have on a regular basis is weekly discussions. Weekly discussions are an opportunity for you guys to communicate with each other and help each other out and ask each other questions. You are required to complete this by Sunday night. To earn full credit, you need to answer the topic question with as much detail as possible. You need to summarize what was covered over the week and topics that you improved on, topics that you still struggle with. Please make sure that you take this seriously. If you sit there and say, I didn't struggle with anything, and I look at your homework and your quizzes and you have grades lower than a 90, then that tells me that, there is something that you could comment on. Make sure that you go back and review your homework and quizzes so that you can go ahead and provide details about problems that you struggled with. Late discussions are not allowed. You must have this completed by Sunday night of each week. All right. I'm going to come down to this online course authentication statement. As of spring 2023, all online courses are required to have at least 50% of assignments meet authentication standards. That means at least 50% of your final grade must be based on proctored assignments. Proctored assignments are assignments where someone is actually watching you take the test. This is an approved proctor. They are also responsible for verifying your identity. I do not want the final exam to be worth 50%, so we will have a midterm exam and a final exam. I am going to be using ProctorU for you to complete this. Please note, ProctorU is not a free service. You will be responsible to pay a fee, and I am estimating here of about $30 per exam. You will need a laptop or a desktop computer with a webcam to complete these two tests. Please note that your tablet or your iPad may not be enough in order to, or may not meet the requirements required by ProctorU. If you are not able to pay those fees, then I encourage you to find another class that works with your schedule or provides accommodations that work better with your particular situation. Now, if you are in the vicinity of Doña Ana County and want to take the midterm and final exam in person to avoid the fees associated with ProctorU, then you may contact me to set up a day and time to come do that. Please note, this is a university requirement. This is not something that I am imposing. This is university level. So if you are taking online courses, please note that you will find something similar in all online courses. All right, grading policy. I think there's just going to be a couple other things that I want to go through. Grading policy, we will be using a traditional grading scale. Classroom management, we have materials provided for class. There are going to be YouTube videos on Canvas that you may watch. As I mentioned, you have full access to the textbook online and note templates. If you do not find the resources available to be beneficial to you, then you are encouraged to find other sources. But please note, if you are using techniques that are not similar to what I am presenting, you need to contact me before using them on quizzes and exams. Not all techniques are going to be allowed and will earn you full credit. Make sure that you contact me and ask me about them. All right, announcements will be posted through Canvas. These will usually be done on Sunday and Thursday, and I also try to post one on test days. This is an online class, so please make sure that you read through the netiquette. This is etiquette for online classes in terms of ways to communicate with instructors and other students. Assistance. If at any point you find that you are struggling, find a solution. Make sure that you are staying on top of assignments. Available resources. As I mentioned, you may contact me to set up office hours appointments over the phone. There is also online tutoring. You can also go to any of the tutoring centers that are on campus. If you want to sign up for online tutoring, please make sure that you send me your name, banner ID, and NMSU email through Canvas message. Withdrawal policy. Please note that if you have stopped attending or stopped doing work for this class at mid-semester, I may recommend that you be dropped from the course. If you are receiving financial aid, make sure that you are aware of what an F, an RR, and a W, how those can affect your financial aid standing. Academic misconduct. This is an online class and it is still possible to get caught cheating. Please make sure that you are submitting your own work and that you are doing your best to learn the material. If I catch anybody cheating, there are a variety of consequences, and this goes from anything from a 0 on an assignment to being expelled from the university. The best way to avoid academic misconduct is 1. Submit your own work, and 2. Make sure that you are staying up to date on assignments and asking questions as needed. Please make sure that you read through this one statement regarding your work on showing your work on quizzes and tests. Please note, if I cannot follow your work or your work is not eligible, you will not be eligible for full credit. Again, make sure that you are using techniques that are appropriate for this class and show all steps. If you have questions about whether your work is comprehensive, contact me first to ask if it is comprehensive, if it is good enough. And I will do my best to help you out. Again, if you are using techniques that you found from other sources, please ask me before you use them on tests and quizzes. There are certain techniques that I will not allow in this class. For instance, if you are using calculus techniques for algebra material, that is not considered appropriate. All right, we've got important dates to remember. And finally, we have our tentative schedule. Here you can go ahead and see what we're doing each week. I encourage you to print this out so that you can kind of keep this on hand. These deadlines are also going to be available in several areas on Canvas. So I encourage you to look them over, make sure that you know exactly when things are due. Remember, make sure that you are very familiar, that you know exactly when tests are due, so that you do not miss that deadline. All right, that takes care of everything that I want to look at in the syllabus. There will be a short quiz after this to make sure that you understand certain things that were presented in here. Please make sure that you read through the entire syllabus before you take the quiz.